Welcome, everybody, to episode 5 of Two Guys, One Brit, where we talk about what's hot in the gaming culture as well as the retro. My name is Seth.
And he's just
My name is Seth.
I'm Bo, Broken Analog.
And I'm some knob from that area where we have a queen, you know, mate.
Oh, he's the Brit.
Yeah, if you haven't noticed.
If you haven't heard the podcast yet, Yazin is the Brit.
I come from a place where we have that queen got it. Get it?
Yep.
Yeah.
So, what are we talking about today, guys? We got lots to discuss, I think. We're going to, real quick, before we get started, I'll just run through some of the topics we will be discussing on this podcast today. It's going to be a good one because we're going to be talking about the entire where's the fair use, you know, that whole movement. Because there's a lot to discuss about that.
Yeah, I'll probably give a good explanation for just exactly what's going on, just so people who are still kind of confused as far as what it means, I will clarify it to the best of my knowledge. So when we get to that part, you'll be hearing my sexy voice.
Oh, okay. Also, Yazin thought it would be a good idea to talk about Tom Clancy's new game, The Division.
Yeah, I've seen him. I've seen that game advertised numerous times. So what's it about? Give us a lowdown.
Well, all right. I'll start off then. It's an open world third-person shooter thing. They branded it as an RPG, but I don't know where they're quite coming from with that concept, but. It was a lot of fun. It's been in development for nearly 4 years now, since it was announced to be a launch title for the next gen consoles. It got delayed again, it got delayed again, and it got delayed again because, you know, delays.
As of right now, it says the initial release date is March 8th.
Yes, so. It looks like that's when it's going to be if they don't delay it again. By the fact we've already played the beta. I don't think they're going to delay it again, since the game, for all intents and purposes, is ready.
Now, is the game...
And you said...
Oh, go ahead, Seth.
What?
You said you did play the beta?
I did play the beta. It was a weekend thing. It was 26 gigabytes, I kid ye not.
Wow.
But it didn't take long to download, because, you know, I have that dapper internet connection, but... it ran at about 20 FPS on my system, because, you know... My system needs coal shoved into it to make it work, so hey. But it was actually surprisingly playable. I'm not sure whether I'm just used to low frame rates or the fact I was playing GTA 4 before I started playing The Division. In GTA 4, you'd be lucky to get 25 FPS in at any given period of time. So I think my eyes were used to such a low frame rate at that point that I just kind of rolled with it. And it was a lot of fun for what it was worth. You run around, kill some bandits, get some stuff, rescue some scientists. It was all good fun.
Awesome.
The online worked properly. I was playing with a friend of mine, and we had a good time.
That's good, because I'm actually, you know, even though Tom Clancy died a couple years ago, I'm still a fan of a lot of the games they still push out from a lot of his books. You know, I was always a fan of the Splinter Cells. I've got a couple of the Rainbow Six games, the Ghost Recon, so it's good fun. Lots of good stuff on the
thing is, there's been a lot of Tom Clancy games over the years. Some weird ones as well. Did you ever play Hawks?
Hawks was a real weird one. That was the flying one, right?
Yeah, it was based in the same universe as Advanced Warfighter, but it was the air battle.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
In the same...
It's the same world and the same period of time, very roughly.
And then I tried that RPG one, End War.
Oh yeah, the turn-based one. Did you play it on DS?
I played that one. I mean, it was okay.
It reminded me of what Advanced Wars would be like if it was taken seriously.
Well, see, it was like I can either play this or I can go pop in Halo Wars. So,
yeah.
Which one are you going to choose? You know what I mean?
I'd pick Halo Wars purely because the co-op campaign is fantastic.
Yeah.
The main campaign was okay, but the co-op campaign, my god.
Not saying that the End War game sucked, just saying that I like Halo, and it's cool to see the same thing, but with Halo characters. Plus, in a Halo setting, campaign.
That and the Spartans are like the most broken unit in the whole game.
Yeah, and I love how the Arbiter holds like 2 energy swords on the,
Although a cool thing about End War, if you bought it on PC, you could actually play it fully with voice control.
Really?
Yeah, you could control the entire game via voice.
That's kind of cool.
I never tried it myself, but I am tempted to give it a shot, and it does seem like a lot of fun.
You should.
Yeah, it'd be good.
You should definitely try it out. And let me know how it goes.
Yeah. So The Division, fun game. The map wasn't very open. It was a very confined area, but it was good, and I'm intrigued to see see what happens when it comes out.
Yeah.
So is it squad based, or do you play as just like the main character, like Joe Spaghetti?
Well, it's very much based. Yeah, it's very much squad based. It's an open world online, so there's going to be many other different people in the same server as you. Kind of like how GTA Online works, but you're all completing independent missions of each other.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Wow. So you can encounter and interact with other people that are nearby. Yeah. But and you're all just doing your own thing. Your own mission.
And you can team up with other people and do missions together and all sorts of stuff. It's pretty good fun.
Yeah. Sounds like fun. And you said that's going to be a new gen console release?
Yeah, new gen and PC.
Okay.
Because I get that amazing 20 FPS because...
Well, I'm still working on saving up for my build. I'm building a new computer for anybody
maybe you won't be able to enjoy the cinematic experience.
Yeah. I'll be able to experience it and love it.
Instead of cinematically enjoy it.
Yeah.
Alright then. Next.
Alrighty.
Next.
So,
what's next?
What is next, guys?
Team 4-Star.
Team 4-Star.
Well, I have no idea who Team 4-Star are.
You don't?
What?
No.
Okay, Team 4-Star, they make abridged videos, like, basically they take Dragon Ball Z videos.
Oh, okay, now I know what you're talking about.
And
I knew
edit
their
them
existence,
and
but I didn't know
revoice
them by name.
Yeah, that's what they do, is they basically edit the videos, the episodes, and then use their own voiceovers, their own voice actors, and then they make it funny. They cut it up, make it shorter, and then make it more funny, I guess. And they do that. They started off, I believe, just Dragon Ball Z, but now they do other stuff as well, like Final Fantasy, I believe.
Oh my god,
I heard abridged Yu-Gi-Oh is by far the funniest.
Yu-Gi-Oh abridged, I think, is I don't know if that's Team 4-Star. I think that's Little Kuribo.
Yeah, I don't think it is. But anyways, Team 4-Star's channel got taken down completely. I mean, they have their sub channels like TFS Gaming and whatnot, but their main Team 4-Star channel was taken off of YouTube a few days ago, apparently because they had too many third-party match content claims on their videos, and which is funny to me why they would get taken down for that. Yes, I can understand why they had the third-party match content, because obviously they're taking Dragon Ball Z videos. That right there I can understand. However, here's the thing. Team 4-Star was never monetizing those videos. They were never making revenue off of it. Because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, all of the ads that you do see on a Team 4-Star episode is all actually going to something else.
Yeah,
they actually don't.
They support Funimation and Toei Animation, and they always have that disclaimer at the beginning of every video. This is a fan-based parody. Please support the original release and everything like that. So, when I understand, Funimation and Toei are aware of Dragon Ball Z Abridged, and I've never seen them have a problem with it. I know Sonny Strait, the voice actor for Krillin, and he fucking loves Team 4-Star. He loves the way they portray Krillin in there, and it cracks him up. And this whole scenario is just, it's so fucking stupid. But I have an explanation for it. I mean, I do, from everything.
So are we going to go back to ground zero and see, well, wrong term, but you know what I mean, explain it all from the get-go?
Might as well.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
might as well, yeah.
Keep every.
However, let me say this real quick. It's funny. Team 4 Stars channel, by the way, everybody, is back up online. I believe it just came back on maybe yesterday. And the first thing they did as soon as they got their channel back was upload Where's the Fair Use video. That was the first thing they did as soon as they came back. So anyways, I believe this all started, where did it begin initially? I know 8-Bit Eric, something to do with, he said something about it with the entire Fine Bros controversy. Is that where it started?
No, that was just them wanting to,
that was just the Fine Bros being greedy
reaction.
people. Being
that had nothing to do
people.
with it. Okay, so let me give you a synopsis real quick of how this fair use thing works, just for those of you who are seriously confused. So I'm going to get this out of the way right now. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm not a YouTuber yet, but I've watched enough of these videos to basically have an understanding of what's been going on. YouTube has a history of having a quote-unquote less than stellar copyright system. Now, there are so many flaws to this system, I probably wouldn't be able to list them all. Just so you understand, though, fair use is essentially when you can borrow content from a copyrighted source legally, as long as it doesn't devalue the value of the original product. For example, you can use a short few second long clip of a movie in your video, but you can't rip the whole movie off of a DVD and upload it to YouTube. You get in trouble for that.
Yeah.
On YouTube, if there
and that's kind of where the entire fair use thing comes in.
Not quite. Allow me to continue.
Right.
It's all good. Oh shit! I lost my. Okay, right. On YouTube, if there's a video that's violating your copyright, you could flag the video to YouTube and have the video temporarily disabled while the dispute between the two of you is settled. Now, it sounds like a good practice. It really does, but the system is pretty much all automated. You file a complaint, the video is removed for the time being. Simple as that. Now, recently, the system has come under fire as it can easily be abused, and many copyright holders view the flag button not so much as a remove copyright infringement button, but more of a tool to silence somebody who gave a negative review to their product. And many companies have been giving their own definition to the term quote-unquote fair use, and using this to justify their attempts to censor criticism of their product, which is horseshit. So basically, it works like this. Let's say Company A develops a shitty movie. YouTuber A then makes a review of the movie calling it shitty and that nobody should watch it. Company A then flags the video on YouTube for copyright infringement, even if there is none, since they don't want any bad publicity, which results in the video being taken down. Now, of course, any publicity is good publicity, but people don't seem to follow that logic. Now, eventually, if this happens enough to your channel, it can be deleted. Now, considering how many large YouTubers make their living on YouTube, this can actually be a very, very huge issue for them. Now, the other issue is monetization, especially when that comes into play. When a copyright notice is issued, that video is basically disabled automatically. You don't even get to fight it. If you choose to fight it, though, your video is reinstated, but if the video is monetized, all the money the video makes from the ad revenue goes towards the person who filed the copyright notice while the case is still pending. So you're not getting the money, but they are,
So you're saying
it's
the vast majority of the views a video would go to the person who owns the copyright or is attempting to state they own the copyright instead of you.
That's correct. It's a shitty situation. But anyway, now...
And if that happens, you can get a copyright strike, and getting a strike on your account will eliminate you from being able to do certain things.
Right.
Like for one, I believe this is just an example. I think one of the things is you can't upload a video past 15 minutes, stuff like that. And then if you get 3 strikes on your account is terminated.
Yep. Now this continues.
That's how it works.
Right, and it's stupid. Now this continues until you can prove you didn't violate copyright, but the individual who filed a false copyright notice does not have to pay you back the money they made while the copyright notice was in effect.
Which is bullshit.
It is bullshit. Another problem is the lack of accountability towards those who unfairly take down videos. And currently there is no penalty towards those who falsely take down videos in order to silence criticism. And that's also bullshit. Now, this can be really, really scary to most YouTubers in general, since the YouTubers in general, since the copyright holder can threaten them with legal action even if they don't have a case in an attempt to censor criticism. And many large YouTubers like Nostalgia Critic and 8-Bit Eric and all them, they've had some of their videos unfairly taken down for a time period. While many small YouTubers have had their videos removed permanently or simply left YouTube since they don't want to risk getting into a legal battle with a company with a huge team of lawyers, again, even if they don't have a case. Long story short, the current copyright system allows copyright holders to basically silence criticism of their stuff by issuing copyright notices to YouTube videos that don't actually contain copyright infringement. That's the fucked up part. So then, that leads to the movement, where's the fair use? That Fair Use Act is supposed to protect that.
And we need YouTube. We need to come up with something where we know when something is actually violating a copyright infringement, because this is out of hand. When any random person can file a claim on a random YouTube video and say that it's theirs, that's fucked up, because obviously anybody could lie about that. And the sad thing is it's so hard to get that removed, because you got to go through the entire.
I think the issue here doesn't exactly lie with random people making copyright issues. The issue lies in the fact there's no human person at YouTube looking through said copyright issues.
No,
and
there's
it's all
not.
automated. I understand there needs to be a degree of automation since there's so many videos uploaded to YouTube, but if there's any discrepancy, there should be a person over there looking through this stuff. And with a company the size of Google, it's not hard for them to hire, 30 people to do this.
Yeah.
It's not hard at all.
Shit, Google, y'all can hire me. I'll do it.
Bo will do it.
I've got IT experience. The thing is, though, what I've noticed is that a majority of the people getting these strikes are people that are reviewing movies. I haven't seen anything for as far as video games go, and I think that's because video game companies are way more lax when it comes to reviews and such like this, because in their mind, it's like, okay, well, it's getting, yes, it's shit criticism towards their game, but at the same time, you're still plugging their product. So
it's like you said earlier, Bo. Even if it's bad publicity, it's still publicity.
It is, and it's free advertising. It's advertising.
I think the issue here lies with a film. With a film, if you watch a film review by, the Nostalgia Critic, you pretty much know the story. You don't need to go out and watch said film.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think that's where the other problem lies, in that I think they kind of want to protect from that to an extent.
Well, how are you supposed to review a movie? I mean, I understand you can give non-spoiler reviews, but at the same time, it's like he's reviewing a lot of the movies where he does talk about the whole story is usually older movies.
Yeah, but then again, he's done I'm talking about in recent memory. He's done a lot of newer films. Didn't he do Pixels a few months back?
Yeah,
and he pretty much went over the whole plot line and everything.
Yeah, he's changed.
And Pixels already flopped like shit, but whatever potential they did have pretty much would have been taken away at that point.
So, what is your stance on that? What do you think should happen if we have YouTubers that are reviewing newer movies that are giving too much information?
I think that a copyright strike is not exactly the best move, but there should be some kind of, there should be in writing, like almost a statute of how much footage you can use from said film and how much you can do of this, that, the other. Because if there's firm, solid guidelines that are not iffy, they're not vague, they're on point, then there's no excuse but yourself if you break said guidelines. And I think there should be a same thing with video games, but in a different extent. Instead of maybe movie time, maybe you can only do like the first quarter of the game or something.
Well, see, that's what I said earlier, was like video game companies are a little bit more lax when it comes to people reviewing and critiquing their games. And they have the same thing, it's free advertising. And it is. People could say this game is terrible, but that's the YouTuber's opinion. their opinion does not represent the entirety of gamers everywhere. It's just that one person, and of course they find it entertaining and whatnot. But people will still go buy the game so they can get their own personal experience playing it. You see,
there's a lot of people that find joy in playing very terrible games. I know a guy who played and beat Right to Hell Retribution, and he liked it.
See,
so it's just personal opinion, right?
But movies on the other hand is a big, because that basically they're going against Hollywood, okay, and Hollywood's become a real fickle bitch when it comes to their movies being reviewed and everything like that. Even if this movie came out like 10 years ago. In fact, if I recall, I do believe Doug Walker got into it with what's that dude's name? Tommy Wiseau, who made that movie The Room.
Right.
And he was so mad at Doug Walker because he reviewed The Room, and then his argument was, I'm reviewing your movie and giving it free publicity and free advertising.
Right.
And
you do realize that half the fucking people that know what that movie is because of Doug Walker?
Yeah, exactly. So if anything, Wiseau should be kissing his fucking beanbag. Right. So I mean, because if it wouldn't be him, nobody would have a fucking clue what that movie is. And to this day, it's like he's still a whiny bitch about it. But I'm sorry, and after personally watching the movie, after watching Doug's review,
you did watch it?
Yeah, I watched it.
Fuck
the movie
that.
was horrible. It was terrible. It was shitty. And this is my personal opinion. It was a terrible fucking movie. Now, if Tommy went back to the drawing board and redid it, maybe take his ass out of the equation and hire some better writers, then yeah, maybe the movie would have a decent.
Some better
who am I
fucking
kidding?
actors.
The movie fucking sucks.
My God, he can't act worth shit.
No, he can't.
Tommy Wiseau, man. And plus, not only that, but do you think fucking Machinima would have picked Tommy Wiseau up and put him in a Mortal Kombat video if it weren't for Doug Walker? None of this shit would have happened. Nobody know. I'm sorry, Tommy Wiseau. I know you call yourself a filmmaker, but let's face it, nobody would know who the fuck you are if it weren't for Doug Walker. So.
Uwe Boll.
Can I just make a point here?
Calls himself a filmmaker, and he's garbage.
Yeah, basically, Tommy Wiseau wants to be Uwe Boll, but Uwe Boll pretty much cornered that market of being a terrible film director for the sake of being a terrible film director.
No, he's terrible at being a film director for video games, making movies off of video games. Every fucking movie he's made off of video game has been utter shit. Absolute shit.
I'd go as far as to say every movie he's made is utter shit, but alright.
I mean, honestly, has he made anything that wasn't video game related? I don't really know.
I think he's made a few, and they were pretty damn bad.
I didn't even like Blood Rain, and I love.
And we're talking about who?
Uwe Boll.
Oh, okay.
The German director.
Uwe Boll of Blood Rain fame, and what didn't he do? The Alone in the Dark.
He did Alone in the Dark, which was fucking atrocious. He did Blood Rain. He did House of the Dead. He did Postal.
Postal, I will say, wasn't that bad. It's so bad, it's good.
Yeah, I don't know. And the fucking funny part about him is that if anybody super popular criticizes him on his movies, he challenges them to a boxing match. And
I wouldn't get into a boxing match with Uwe Boll. He'd fuck me up.
He's got some a pro background in boxing, but Lotax from I think it was Something Awful Forums. He accepted a challenge. He went to and he thought it was an exhibition or whatever, just like a publicity stunt. And Bull beat the hell out of him, and it was pretty fucked up. And then he made the mistake of challenging this, I forget, Sean Baby, I guess is the name he goes by, but he's this fucking jock, douchebag video game reviewer or whatever. I don't even like him all that much. And Uwe Boll challenged him to a boxing match, and he accepted. And then when Boll found out that Sean Baby actually has an MMA background, he backed out like a little bitch because he knew he was getting his ass kicked.
Yeah.
You know, I could kick Uwe Boll's ass, honestly. Mm-hmm. I've seen how he fights, though.
But then again, he is German. He'd throw vodka at you.
Oh, fuck that. I've seen the fight with him in Lotax. He doesn't play he's all offense. So he's all offense, and he does rushes. So it's like if you could just get around his shit and you could sock him in the fucking jaw. Like, I'm not afraid of that piece of shit. And I'm sorry, but his movies are fucking garbage. All of them are. Blood Rain, I mean, I know the game. I know how the game works. The only thing good about Blood Rain was seeing Cristiano Locantopoulos. Now that.
And didn't they make a sequel to Blood Rain with Nazis in it or something?
That was the third movie. That's when they finally went back to what the first game was. The second movie.
Wait, there were Nazis in the first Blood Rain?
Yeah.
Okay, I did not know this.
Yeah.
All right.
The third movie was what the first game was supposed to be. The first game had jack fuck all to do with the games, except for the character. The second movie had them in the Wild West with Billy the Kid as a fucking vampire. I shit you not.
Lovely.
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
But anyway, back to the whole where's the fair use thing. You know, exactly, it's a good question. Where the fuck is the fair use? And with my explanation as to what the shit that's going on, I honestly and truly feel bad for all the video reviewers out there. The gaming community, y'all are safe for the time being because game companies are way more lax when it comes to shit like this. But
at the same time, even some of them have been getting shit for it.
Not as much, nowhere near to the capacity that everybody else.
Not as much as the movie reviewers, but I'm just saying, it's going both ways.
It is.
So I made my point that stricter guidelines and actual set-in-stone rules would stop most of this. But what are your views, then?
What?
It's...
In terms of how we can possibly solve this issue of fair use.
The only way the way I see it, that like solving this would require YouTube to step up to the plate and remove the automatic bullshit from their copyright claims and actually put a human team there that can review this type of thing. They need a team to do that with a legal team backing them up for advice. That's where this would start. If they can get the automatic bullshit out of the picture, completely nix it, and stick with a team of like 30 to 40 people who can physically review these copyright claims, and then work in conjunction with the legal team, then a majority of these problems would disappear. Now, this is just my theory, my opinion on it, and I really honestly think that's what YouTube should do. If they're owned by Google, Google's got like you said earlier, Google's got employees out the ass. So why the fuck can they not designate 30 or 40 people to that team to just look over all this stuff to make sure it's legit or not? And on top of that, there should be a penalty for the people who file false copyright claims. Either they get booted from YouTube or they get fucking sued or something like that. It should be right up there with filing a false police report, which is a felony. So then if you're filing a false copyright claim with no evidence to back it up whatsoever, your ass should be booted off YouTube or worse. You know, that's where I stand.
Technically speaking, I don't know whether this is the same in the US, but in Europe, theoretically speaking, you could take them. You could not only counterclaim, but you could countersue. But that's I don't know how that system works, but I know it exists.
You can countersue in the state. You can countersue. You just have to have evidence to support that. That's the thing. It all comes down to evidence and facts and everything like that. And then the same thing would apply for the copyright thing. If they've got evidence that you're infringing on their bullshit or whatever, if they don't have the evidence to back that shit up, they're the ones that need to be fucking penalized, not the YouTuber.
I mean, you can do it. You just have to propose a counterclaim. Yeah. And basically you have to go through that whole process. And
then you probably have to go through the courts.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So, like I said, for the time being, it seems that gamer reviewers are safe because, like I said, game companies are way more chill about this. But,
plus, this is... gaming is such a popular genre on YouTube alone that I think that this is making game companies too much money to not, I mean...
Yeah, it's a multi-million-dollar industry at this point.
People that are reviewing or let's playing video games on YouTube, a lot of those people are going to be like, okay, this looks cool, now I'm going to go pick up a copy. You know how many... you would be surprised to see how many less purchases there would be if YouTube didn't exist. I mean, yes, there'd still be gamers out there.
I wouldn't go that far.
I'm sure that the purchase...
if YouTube didn't exist, another website would have taken over and done the same thing.
Yeah, but that's besides the point. What I'm trying to say, though, is that we're making them too much money for them to be doing this bullshit.
Yeah, I can understand that,
and Angry Joe, for example, he does a lot of rants on getting copyright claims on his videos because of games. I know that he said he got into some trouble for uploading Nintendo Wii U game footage, like from like Mario Kart 8 or something like that. Like just something, he got a claim on it, which is bullshit alone. And I know maybe it's just Angry Joe. Maybe he has bad luck. I don't know.
Or he's full of shit.
Or he's full of shit. He could be.
Because I don't like Angry Joe, which it makes me inclined to believe he kind of is full of shit.
Yeah, I don't really. I could give two fucks less about that asshole. So.
Like I said, it's another story, but I just figured I'd throw that out there.
No.
But yeah,
personal grudges getting into it. Nice, I like that.
It could be a lie though.
So, Bo, when's the boxing match between you and Angry Joe? I want to see it.
When's the boxing match between
Potato
me and
versus
Angry Joe?
Angry Joe.
He is not worth my fucking trouble. He's not worth my energy, dude. Like, I wouldn't spit on that motherfucker if he was on fire. I've got my personal reasons for disliking him, and none of which I would rather not air my dirty laundry with that one, because there are people that honestly I wouldn't really care if it got back to him, because he seems to be the type of guy that talks all this shit. He's like all bark and no bite, so I'm not worried about him. I have my own personal issues with him, and will I ever meet him in person? Fuck no, probably not. If I ever do meet him in person, I don't really. I mean, like, I don't go out of my way to start shit with people or start a fight or whatever. But I mean, like, if it came down to a boxing match, though, I'm pretty sure I could kick his ass. I've only ever lost one. I don't even like to fight, though. I'm honest to God. I don't even like to fight. I try diplomacy, and I only fight when I absolutely have no choice. But I've only lost one fight in my life, and that was to my own brother.
Hey, man. That's how it's...
Your own brother. Yep. So not only did you lose a fight, but every time you see said brother, he's going to rub it in your face.
Oh, no. Me and my brother Nick are always on good terms. Like, that's just the way we are as siblings, though. But he's the one and only fight I ever lost in my life. And he caught me slipping. And, that's what all it took was one misstep, and boom, chokehold. And that's why my voice is all jacked up, like the way you can hear it. So
I have to say, though, I mean, Angry Joe could be full of shit. I'm not saying that he's not. But for the record, for anyone listening, I actually do like Angry Joe. I mean, I don't like him a lot. Like, I usually don't even watch his videos that often, to be honest. But personally, I've never had any problem with him. However, there was a couple times where he did piss me off. The whole Nintendo Amiibo rant that he did pissed me off. It really did. And for some reason, I'm still subscribed to his channel.
Well, I mean,
there's been a lot of times where I've thought about clicking that unsubscribe button, but for some reason I'm still subscribed to him, because I've never had any problems with him, really, except that some of his rants piss me off. That Amiibo rant that he did, where he's telling... He was basically saying Nintendo has a bunch of fanboys, and you guys are all pretty much stupid for whatever reason it was. I don't fucking remember, but
yeah, I mean, it's cool if you're a fan, dude. I'm not gonna dog you for that. That's your own personal preference.
I know.
I got respect for you, know that. So, but my issues with him are on a personal level, though.
I know
it
that
has nothing to do with.
And I can understand why you would have a problem with him, Bo. Personally,
yeah.
I understand.
So
I just don't like his attitude towards a lot of things. I think he's way too cynical about a lot of things.
Yeah.
In my eyes.
I'll say this: at least he's not as bad as fucking Spoonie.
Oh god.
Yeah, that guy's a fucking nutcase.
That fat guy.
Are we really bringing up the Spoonie?
No, I'm not gonna bring Noah into this. Fuck that. Hell.
No, we're not taking the Spoonie in. No, stop. It's time to stop.
Now, is he on a Chris Boers level?
Oh, that fucking guy, dude. Oh my god. You know, I don't even want to. He rips off AVGN. He does, And it's pretty sad whenever, like, that's the one and only thing I ever liked that I remember Mike Matei doing was that Chris sent him a fucking apology email, and then Mike turned around and put that email on the AVGN forums, and then everybody just destroyed it to the point where he won't... He turned off comments and shit to his video. Like, it's like he's done so much stupid shit. The only thing I ever liked that he did was that he was in a paranormal investigating group, which cool.
He writes like ghost books and stuff.
Yeah, now I'll give the guy credit for that. It's actually pretty cool. But as far as a game reviewer goes, fuck no. He's just a ripoff of AVGN and even Game Grumps. Even though they didn't say his name specifically. I do remember the episode that it was Aaron and John were playing Donkey Kong Country 2. Diddy's Conquest, and they were referencing him, but they weren't saying his name. And you could tell by the tone in both Aaron and John's voice that they absolutely fucking hate this guy. Now, I could very well be wrong. They could be talking about a completely different reviewer, but just based on what they were saying, it sounded like I'm like, holy shit, that's Irate Gamer,
right?
You know, but anyway,
I will say this though. I personally, and Pat the NES Punk, Pat Contry, he could probably say the same thing. We both do video game reviews that are extremely similar. It has that same format as AVGN. But there's a difference because one, Cinemassacre, I can admit, is one of my biggest inspirations. And I'm also subscribed and I also feature Cinemassacre on my YouTube channel. So, and another thing is I don't go out of my way and I don't rip him off. I don't steal his lines. I try to make it different as much as I can. It's just got the same format.
And that's what Irate Gamer was doing, was he was like ripping off the way James does his reviews. It wasn't the fact, like, you can't say that reviewing a video game or whatever has fuck all to do with what James did. Anybody can review a video game, so anybody that says, oh, well, you're ripping off AVGN, no the fuck you're not. You can't sit there and say, well, just because he reviewed an NES game, that doesn't mean anybody else, the rest of you, no, fuck that shit. If you want to review a video game, review a fucking video game. What Chris Bors was doing was ripping off the mannerisms at which James was portraying his nerd character towards the games. Everything from the profanity and the vulgarity to everything that Chris was doing, he was pulling it off of James. Everything he was doing was pulling off of AVGN. That's where the ripoff comes from. Has nothing to do with
and not only
the
that,
game.
but he wouldn't admit to his fans that he liked and was inspired by James Rolfe.
Yeah, he wouldn't
admit it.
Because then people are like, oh, well then that means you're ripping him off, because he knows for a fact that he'd get busted for it.
Right.
You know, and he did, which is why nowadays, you know, I don't even know if he still does anything online.
He does. He brought the Irate Gamer back, as far as I'm concerned, because I actually do have a friend who kind of likes him, which I don't dog him for that.
I would.
But I mean, I know he does. He since the whole controversy between AVGN and the Irate Gamer, as far as I know, he has been doing different stuff, as far as like his own like Skylander stuff that's completely different. But as far as I'm concerned, he did actually bring the Irate Gamer back. And so I went back and watched one of his newer episodes from his new season, and it was Castlevania. And I was like, okay, maybe he decided, you know what, I'm just going to do my own thing. I'm not going to rip off AVGN anymore. I go to click on this fucking video, and I watch his new Castlevania review, and it's exactly like the fucking AVGN Castlevania review. Like, he even dies a bunch of times and says fuck every time he dies.
Oh, wow.
It's like, dude,
like
stop.
Level.
It's like, stop, dude.
So
it's time to stop.
Basically, no originality. He can't even develop his own shit.
That's like me, then, isn't it?
Chris Bors, if you want my advice, Chris Bors, just stick with your fucking paranormal shit.
Yeah, please do. It's cool that you're a gamer and everything, and that you're keeping retro gaming alive. But if you're going to review a game, for fuck's sake, develop your own formula. I mean, this is why people don't like you. This is why people are wonder why you're disabling comments on your videos because you can't handle the criticism. Well, motherfucker, I'm giving you criticism. Stick to your own original shit. Stop ripping off everybody else. Develop your own shit. It's not that fucking hard. Laying back, smoke a joint, whatever the fuck it takes, but come up with your own material. The more you rip off of other notable YouTubers or internet celebrities that have been here longer than you, the more shit you're going to continue to get. Now I know he'll probably never fucking hear this unless somebody shares it to him, and honestly I really don't care, but I'm just saying now, if you're gonna continue to do what you do, develop your own shit. Otherwise, take Seth's advice and just stick to the paranormal stuff, which of course if you need an experienced paranormal investigator, I'm your guy.
Both so into that shit.
Could I just say for the record, I'd pay money to see a video of the irate gamer smoking a joint high as fuck.
I was just
it'd be hilarious.
Throwing that out as I'm just throwing it as like whatever it takes to fucking.
Tell me you would not pay money to see him high as a kite.
I'd buy him the fucking weed. Are you kidding?
No, don't stop there. Give him some ecstasy. Make him go hardcore.
Yeah. No, because then he'd be all touchy on the furniture and taking his clothes off and shit. And fuck that noise.
He'd be trying to run up walls.
I want to help the guy. I don't want to fuck the guy. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
But no, seriously though, have him if he could develop his own formula, his own shit. I promise you, people would be like, okay, let's give this guy a shot, and then so forth. It's that simple. But you know, whatever.
It's never gonna happen.
No, fuck no. But fuck no.
It's not gonna happen.
But
fuck no.
I'm liking all these innuendos you got going here.
I'm fucking notorious for that shit, dude. I don't know why. It's just, I don't know. It's like second language to me, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, so.
So I take it. Is it time for story time? Because I have a story
time.
To tell.
Yes, story time with Yazin Normohammed. Is that how you pronounce it?
Well, first of all, there's a joke going around. Well, basically, in my Skype chat, there's a joke going around. What do you call a Muslim that likes ham?
A Muslim that likes ham?
I'm almost afraid to answer that.
Normohammed. What do you call a Muslim who doesn't like ham? No, Mohammed.
Oh, I was like, I'm almost afraid to answer that question. Just.
No, because Mohammed, no Mohammed.
Are you Muslim?
Yeah. Yes, I am.
He's Muslim.
So what? I don't care.
No, I don't care either. I was kind of like.
I thought you would have guessed from the name, but alright.
Who gives a fuck, dude? I'm from like Jewish descent and shit. Like, it's cool.
I guess that explains the nose.
I'm half French. Imagine the shit that I get.
Oh yeah, that's why. Yeah.
See, yeah. Everybody's like.
So he's not only a potato, he's a shallot potato.
Sure.
Yep. Yes, that's why everybody calls me, fucking what's his fuck? What's his name? That actor? Freaking Owen Wilson.
What?
Yeah, dude.
Anyway, it's time for story time and graphics.
Okay, everybody,
please
dim the lights. It's time for story time with Yazin.
So I go to a computer fair, I buy a graphics card that doesn't work. Well, I don't know whether it doesn't work at this point. Well, I buy a graphics card, I fit it in, no power. Nothing comes up on the screen. So I think, okay, maybe my power supply is balked. So I buy a new power supply, fit in the new graphics card. Guess what?
What?
No video. No video. So I call up the guy and say, hey mate, the graphics card you gave me is dead. Could you send another please? And he sends me another, and it's a higher model. So I'm like, yeah, this is good. I fit it in. Guess what?
What?
No video. So I have no video output on either card, and I find out that my motherboard is incompatible. But the motherboard below it is compatible. So I get really pissed off. I call up the guy saying, can I give these back? Neither of them work. I think it's my motherboard. So I give them back, and that's why I still have a shitty graphics card.
That sucks, man.
Yeah, it's depressing story time with Yasin.
Yes, this will be a running theme on the podcast. Yasin's depressing stories time.
With Yasin.
Yep. But anyways,
Back
that does
in March,
suck.
When the bombs fell. Nah, good.
That does suck,
during
though,
the
man.
Blitz.
It sucks. I feel I know how you feel as far as the shitty computer goes.
Well, yeah. When you're playing GTA Online at 24 FPS, and then they shout at you because you can't aim.
Fuck. At least you can play GTA Online.
Play is the wrong word.
At least you can run it.
And cry.
At least you can get it to start.
The fact that you play GTA is
yeah, that's it. Yeah, what are you thinking? No, I actually have the original GTA on the PlayStation 1, and it sucks. It's like a down view,
top-down perspective. Yeah, that game was. I don't like GTA. I can't stand it. I like Saints Row, which I mean, I don't know why, but I guess
isn't that basically the same thing though, in a weird sort of way?
Yeah, kind of, but it's more over the top than because GTA is like all fucking serious and shit, but Saints Row
takes it as a joke, and it's like, yeah.
And
well, actually,
no. Saints Row 1 and 2 did not take things as a joke.
It was more serious out of the four. But when it hit 3 and 4, it went so over the top and awesome that I fell in love with the series.
Now there is a serious one that's like GTA that I love. Have you ever played Mafia?
Yes.
Mafia is amazing, especially Mafia 2. I love.
I liked
2.
Mafia a lot. Mafia 3's coming out.
Really? I cannot wait for that because I love the story of Mafia 2, and I don't give a fuck what anybody says. People can say that the GTA 5 is better than Mafia 2. If you want to say that as far as the gameplay goes, as far as fucking around, be my guest.
Yeah.
But the story of Mafia 2 is so much better. And plus it takes place in
I didn't like the story to GTA 5. I haven't played much of it, but I didn't like it.
And I loved how Mafia took place back in like it started in the 50s, I believe.
Yeah.
I believe, maybe.
But then again, GTA
40s?
theoretically started in the 70s, and it's just, there's so many games at this point that they've had to go to modern times.
Yeah. But anyways, guys, if you haven't played Mafia 2, or Mafia 1, check it out, definitely. But
Mafia 1's a great game, but it's not so great when you're playing it on a computer that can't quite handle it, and the handling of the car at the beginning of the game is forked.
Also, Mafia is a lot more realistic than GTA because
especially the driving.
Yes, the driving especially is what I was
in Mafia 1. The cars feel like 1950s cars.
Yes.
They oversteer like hell.
And also, you can run out of gas.
That's great.
You can get pulled over for speeding. Yes, you can get in trouble for speeding. It's not like GTA, where you just get in trouble if you run someone over or if you hit a cop car. No, in Mafia 2, you can run out of gas, you can go over the speed limit and have a cop come after you for it. Just running red lights, maybe not that far. But, speeding, stuff like that. Which, you might say, well, that kind of sucks. Well, it doesn't suck because you can still speed. It's just... It makes it even funner, I guess, if the cops are after you, so... And plus, it makes it more realistic, and I believe... and I understand if people don't want realistic, that's why they're playing the game, is to, to get something that's not realistic. I get that, but at the same time, that's what this game was trying to go for, was serious, and the storyline as well. So, with that being said, it's a good thing that this game is more realistic, so...
I liked Mafia a lot.
Yeah.
I've liked that company in general.
Take-Two, was it?
The development studio itself, it was called Illusion Softworks, but now I think it's 2K Czech.
2K, and, that's right, not Take-Two.
2K Czech, because they're in Czechoslovakia. And before they did Mafia, they did a whole host of other games that were really good.
Didn't they do Driver?
Game. They may have done one of the Driver games.
I played Driver 3 for the PS2, and...
Yeah, the glitches.
the glitches. However, the graphics were
that game was
pretty good, because I know that, and I was playing that in Grand Theft Auto Vice City and, Grand Theft Auto 3. Those were all came out around the same time. And Driver 3 actually had the best graphics out of all. But it wasn't as fun.
The glitches were amazing. You can make taxis fly everywhere.
Really? I didn't know all that.
Well, yeah, quite literally. But they did Viet Cong, which is like a squad. It's a strategy game, but you have it is like the Vietnam War. You'd have very few units, and it's pretty depressing story-wise. And then they also did a set of games called Hidden and Dangerous, which were absolutely amazing. They were like World War II Spec Ops. You know, what are they called? The predecessor to the CIA. FAC. I should know this, I do history.
FAC. Yeah, as in FAC.
No, they're not called FAC. You guys must know what I'm talking about. The ones that were deployed in France.
I don't know what it's called.
The one you play as them in the original Medal of Honor. I think it's the SOA.
Oh, yes.
No.
The Marines?
I'm gonna look this up now. Give me a moment. I need to look this up.
It's like
Medal of Honor.
It's literally on the tip of my tongue, but I have to look it up now.
You said in the original Medal of Honor?
In the original Medal of Honor, you play as. Come on.
Isn't that the one for the PC?
No, it's the PS1, the first Medal of Honor game.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
1999
OSS.
Medal of Honor.
Officer
OSS.
Strategic Services. OSS. Yeah, you play as a group of those kind of units, and you're like behind enemy lines. It's extremely tense because being behind enemy lines, you're pretty much secluded from everything.
Oh, and for all of you out there that don't know what Medal of Honor is, put down the Call of Duty for like 2 seconds and listen. Medal of Honor was better than Call of Duty, okay?
Ooh.
Back in the day, you had... Okay, Medal of Honor Rising Sun was such a good game. Everybody loved it.
I'd go as far as to say that European Assault was better than Rising Sun, but Rising Sun was good.
I don't know. I thought Rising Sun was the best. European Assault was good.
Medal of Honor.
Let me at least make
What about
this point.
Frontline?
That's the only one I've ever played. Frontline.
Yeah, Frontline was good. But the theme to European Assault was phenomenal. It's probably the best Medal of Honor theme that's ever existed.
Well, I know one of the things I did really like about Rising Sun is they had the multiplayer.
The first Medal of Honor game I played, I'm actually holding in my hand. It was Medal of Honor Allied Assault on the PC.
Allied Assault.
It wasn't the Allied Assault for the PC, which was amazing. This was fantastic. I played it before I played Call of Duty, so I didn't like Call of Duty as much as I liked Medal of Honor at that point. Mm-hmm. But then Medal of Honor really went downhill after that.
Yeah, I played Medal of Honor first as well, and I mean, I believe they started going downhill like at Airborne.
Airborne was good, but that was the point when it started to go downhill. Yeah, that was like the point. Because Airborne was fantastic.
I actually
the only thing that sucked about Airborne is that when you crashed into a tree, you just died.
Really?
Yeah, when you were parachuting down, you hit a tree, you're just dead.
So yeah, what else, guys? What are we talking about next?
I think we've pretty much gone through the topics.
I think we have. We have gone through just about everything. What games have you guys been playing lately?
Oh, playing lately. Well, I was playing The Division, but that was only over the weekend.
Right.
Currently, did you? I don't know whether you guys picked these up. Sega actually did 3 freebie releases.
Really?
On Steam, which were pretty fantastic.
Which games?
They gave away. I can actually list them. Give me a moment. They gave away Streets of Rage 2, Golden Axe, Gunstar Heroes, Condemned Criminal Origins, Renegade Ops, Binary Domain, Viking Battle for Asgard, and there's a couple more. Give me a moment, I'll think about that. Fact, give me one moment, I need to look at my Steam
That's
list.
He's looking it up, everybody.
I'm looking up because there's 2 more left that they Jet Set Radio and Hell Yeah, Wrath of a Dead Rabbit.
So all of those are free as we speak.
They were free. I don't know whether they still are. If I go to Jet Set Radio, are they still giving away the original? No, it's stopped. But they were over the previous week giving them away.
Oh, one more thing I would like to discuss before we do wrap it up today. Let's talk about let's talk about the Calico Chameleon.
Oh, okay. That seems like a decent topic.
I know nothing about that.
So, Bo, do you have anything to say on this one?
The Calico what?
Chameleon.
Never heard of it.
Well, the Calico.
Do you know about the retro VGS?
Nope.
All right. This
is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Calico Chameleon, it's like, you know what the ColecoVision is, right?
Yeah, I know what the ColecoVision is.
Okay, well, I believe the retro VGS was planned to run all of the games on individual cartridges, you know, and as opposed to discs or digital download. And basically there's a Kickstarter right now, a Kickstarter campaign to raise funds to get this thing going. Apparently, what the Coleco Chameleon is, basically they're going to do that with Coleco licensed games and release it. I don't know. Do you want to kind of help me out here, Yazin?
Well, basically, it started off as the retro VGS, which was going to be a console which you'd be able to buy games for, and these would be games like you'd get on your PC, indie games, normal games, made by independent developers, and they'd be on the cartridge. They wouldn't have any bugs. They'd be ready to roll. There'd be no updates, no patches, and it's ready to play. Plug it in, you play it, it's ready to roll. So you'd be able to buy VVVVV, for example, on a cartridge, plug it in, it's ready to roll. And on top of that, you'd be able to play all your Mega Drive, your Super Nintendo, your this, that, and the other, because it would have something called an FPGA, which is a Field Programmable Gate Array chip. Basically, it's a giant switch that switches between different modes according to what is plugged in. And it's basically the retro VGS flopped and failed because they didn't actually have anything to show for it, and the fact that they fired the engineer that was developing the FPGA chip.
And that's where the Coleco Chameleon comes in.
Yeah, the Coleco Chameleon is an internal redesign of the system along with Coleco branding. I'm looking up the Kickstarter now, and I have no friggin' idea where it is. Has it started yet?
Yeah, I believe so.
If it started, I can't find it.
Maybe. Let's see. Coleco Chameleon Retro Game Console heads to the Kickstarter.
The Kickstarter
beginning
starts
February
at
26th, 2000. Oh, it starts today.
Ah, okay, so it's not up yet.
Okay, it starts today. The Kickstarter for the Coleco Chameleon. So if you guys want to support that, if you guys want to see the Coleco Chameleon happen,
the problem lies with the Coleco Chameleon is that they supposedly lied with the prototype. Do you want to go into that?
Sure.
Yeah, alright, roll out.
You can do it though.
Okay. Well, basically, they're at the New York Toy Fair, which is like the biggest trade show regarding toys, and it's basically where all the distributors would go and see, okay, these are the toys that are coming out, we'll stock this one, that one, that one, and that one. And yeah, so they'll look at toys, see if they're interesting, and then start selling them.
Yeah.
And basically, they showed off the Coleco Chameleon, but it was completely closed system, which is odd for anything electronic at the Toy Fair, at the New York Toy Fair, because most things are, if they're closed, you can ask to open them up, but they refused to open it up on the and it was covered, absolutely covered in electrical tape. And from what people saw, the basic idea is that apparently it was a Super Nintendo Mini inside a Jaguar shell. Yeah. And right down to the fact that it was using Nintendo proprietary video out and power, which is odd. I wouldn't mind this because maybe they were using a Super Nintendo output, but this system was meant to output entirely using a digital signal.
Mm-hmm.
So it would need to convert that digital signal to an analog signal and then convert it to whatever the hell Nintendo uses, because Nintendo loves proprietary shit. and this is no exception.
Yeah.
The Super Nintendo's video out is mocked as all hell. I don't know quite how it works even now.
I still don't really know. I'm still, it's still vague.
It's a weird cable. I'm really not sure how it works, but that's neither here nor there. So basically, it's pretty much been proven that it was a Super Nintendo Mini inside a Jaguar case. Although they're still denying it to a point. They said yes, it's using Super Nintendo Mini video out, but that was because it was the easiest solution at the time.
Yeah. And
they'll have something better. But people don't quite believe that. But it'll be interesting to see how the Kickstarter goes.
Yeah.
Because more than likely, now they've got Coleco branding, and it seems they've gone the right way about it. They've got hardware that they can show now. They're not going the whole aesthetic route that they were going with the Retro VGS, so it looks like it's going to roll pretty well. I don't know. I don't think they're going to make the amount of money they want, but they'll make money.
They'll make money, and that just depends, I guess. If you guys want to see it happen, you can head over to the
I'm purely intrigued by the idea of of a console.
Yeah, me too.
A fourth console in the market, which is just odd in my eyes, because was there ever a time when we ever had 4 major video game consoles? I'm trying to think.
Yes, during the PS2, Dreamcast, GameCube.
That was
Xbox.
that was not even 6 months. That was like 4 months
I know.
Before Sega gave up.
But other than that, no.
That just goes to show. I'm trying to think. Is there anything else though?
I don't believe.
Well, theoretically, because we had in the UK anyway, you had during the 80s, you have the home computers, you have the Spectrum, the Amiga, the ST.
That doesn't really count, though. We're talking
home because
consoles.
they were personal computers in their own right. Yeah.
Like, you obviously had Atari 2600, ColecoVision, and Intellivision. And then you had NES, Sega Genesis, and, and Atari 26, whatever. Super Nintendo.
Yeah, you had the
Genesis.
Master System and NES. Then you had the Super Nintendo,
Sega Genesis,
the Mega Drive, and could we add the TurboGrafx?
Yeah, we could. TurboGrafx, and then Atari 5200 was also before that, right?
7800 was around at the same time. So there's 3, and then 3 again because you got the Saturn, the PS1, and the 64.
That was the Jaguar.
So yeah, it's always been 3. There's been many attempts to get that 4th slot.
Yep.
The Jaguar tried it, the 3DO tried it, the Amiga CD32 tried it. Heck, we could say Sega tried it with the Dreamcast, and it didn't quite go down as they expected.
But anyways, if you guys do want to check it out, the Kickstarter will be in the link below. We'll put a link to it in the description, so you guys can check that out if you want to see the Kickstarter for the Coleco Chameleon. Yeah. So that's that. That's the Coleco Chameleon. Anything else you guys want to discuss?
I have nothing.
Nothing at all from Botato. Yazin, anything else from you?
Nah, I think I'm done.
I think I'm done too, so that will wrap up another Two Guys, One Brit. Thank you guys for listening. As always, please subscribe to hear more, and also to have special guests on the show. We love having guests. We had Larry Bundy on last week. Give us recommendations of who you guys think should be on the show. Just let us know. Please subscribe. Go check out our main channels as well. And I guess that'll wrap it up. See you guys later.
Alright, so